It's Ebro in the morning, Laura Styles, Rosenberg, and from Harlem. Azealia Banks is on the program.
Yay! Finally.
It took a minute to schedule this. What's the deal with your schedule, B? Talk to me.
I've been on the road for the past 3 years.
Right.
So I've been like gone for the past 3 years. And a lot of the time, especially when Peter would hit me up to do stuff, I'd be like, oh, well, I'm in Switzerland right now. And then I have to go to Hungary and all these other places. I'm not going to be back until...
Why didn't you ask me what you told me last time when I hit her and I said, where are you?
What'd you tell him last time?
What did you say?
I can't remember. What did I tell you?
Where were you like 3 days ago? And you said, you said I was hunting all weekend and I need to get myself together.
I need to groom
because I've been hunting all weekend.
Hunting what?
Like pigs and not hunting, like slaughtering.
Wait.
Like you know how you go to like the farm and you go to like the vivero or something and you buy the animal.
Okay.
And you kill it and you eat it.
What's your background?
That's just Black American.
So, but I don't hear that. That's normally something that you hear like an island thing, or that's, you don't hear that
if you
too
go
much.
to the Bronx has mad viveros.
Mad viveros everywhere in the Bronx.
But most of the time, black
thing.
people ain't going to the vivero. Like, it's usually Spanish people, African people, Asian people.
That's because, I grew up in Washington Heights, and like my mother worked a lot. And all my caretakers were Dominicans. And then I went to all Dominican schools because my mother just had like an affinity for Dominicans. So she would always put me. I like Dominicans too. So she would always put me in like the Dominican schools or put me with the Dominican babysitter or like whoever was the Dominican lady in the building was her friend. And then I was friends with the daughter. And I just always.
So is that why your music it's soulful, but it's dancey at the same time? It's still hip hop. Is that where that comes from? Is that how you hear your music?
Yeah, because I went to Catholic school, and then in Catholic school we'd sing like all those choir things and all that stuff, and then after school I'd go to my Dominican babysitter and I'd be watching novelas all day and I'd be listening to bachata and merengue all day. So I just knew everything.
Do you speak Spanish?
Un poco.
Un poquito.
Un poquito a Spanish.
So we got a lot of ground to cover with you today. The hunting thing was very interesting.
See?
But I want to get into your first record that we got here on Hot 97. I remember I asked Camilo to play it. I saw you had like 1 million views, or you were approaching 1 million views on YouTube, and I was like, yo, how come we don't know about this girl from Harlem? You spitting on it. It had an up-tempo track, and I have an affinity for rappers when they're not afraid to get on some up-tempo, right? Because Kane, Rakim, right? They were never afraid to get on an up-tempo record that people would party to and still spit bars.
Yeah.
And nowadays, that's kind of, people are afraid, rappers is too cool to jump on an up-tempo and give you a little energy, or smokes too much weed, or off too much leans, or
they're not good enough.
Or
it does take a little bit more skill.
Or it could just be that they're just not interested. It's
That's
like
true.
Not everything is that deep.
Yeah.
Wow.
Not everyone likes house
Is
music.
this a kinder, gentler Azealia Banks? Oh my God.
No, seriously, like everyone's got it all wrong. I definitely have like some really strong opinions and some really strong things to say about things, but they're never like, I'm never trying to force like my opinion or like make
but it's you're into your thing.
It's just like, this is what I think.
Yeah.
And
well, we'll get into what she thinks, but first you want to hit this
212.
OG?
Yeah, let's do it. 212.
I was in the 212, I'm the uptown A nigga, you know what's up or don't you? Word of who made ya? I'm a rude bitch nigga, what are you made up of? I'ma eat your food up, boo, I could bust your 8, I'ma do 1 2, fuck it, gun do. When you do make bucks, I'ma look right, nigga, bet you do 1 2, fuck 'em like you do 1 2, come, you gated, get discovered, I'm a 2 1 deuce, cock, a lickin' in the water by the blue bayou, caught the warm goose, and you do rag too, son. Nigga, you're a Kool-Aid dude, plus your bitch might lick it, wonder who let you, come to 1 2, what you do to cruise, son?
Azealia Banks here, that first single 212. It's Ebro in the morning, Laura Styles, Rosenberg.
That was a moment. That was a New York moment, Ebro.
It was. Were you talking about eating coochie on that record?
I was.
Eating vag on that. You was going in. That's what you do. That's your.
Sometime.
Do you have girlfriends? You been in love with a woman?
Sometime.
Really?
I like to dip and dab,
Are you in a relationship right now?
No, I'm single right now.
What was your last relationship with a woman?
My last relationship with a woman just kind of ended up in like some girl drama. And it was just like, I'm fucking with these hoes. Like,
you know what I'm saying?
Y'all hoes are fucking crazy. Y'all got me out here looking stupid.
So do you prefer a relationship with a man and just to fuck with a woman on the side and like a fling thing?
I don't know yet.
How old are you?
I'm 23.
Oh, you early.
Yeah, I don't know yet. But I definitely like to enjoy myself. And enjoy my youth and my
Enjoy
everything.
That's dope. Good for you. So you were signed to Interscope. That record got you signed.
Yes.
And what happened with that? Why no more Interscope?
Well, it was a combination of things. Mostly, it was Polydor, the UK company that I was signed to. They were greenlighting everything, and it was really strange because that record cost $2 million to make. You know, partially because I didn't really.
When you say that record, you mean
that album?
Oh, that album, not 212 the song,
no,
but
the album cost $2 million to make. Just because, you know, I was still finding myself creatively, and we were paying for a lot of things that I wasn't using and all kind of stuff like that. And I guess it kind of just got to a point where they had spent so much money on the record, and they were like, we don't feel like we have anything that we can cross into the top 40. Like it was very specific. They were very specific about wanting something that they could play on top
mainstream.
40. Yeah. And for me, you know, the deal that I had wasn't a 360 deal, so I was keeping all my money off touring and stuff. And I was just like, you know, like, F this. I want to do cool music, and I want to perform, and, you know, I want to enjoy myself. I don't want to, like, do anything that I think is whack or, you know, that's going to make me sad. And, it was just like a back and forth, like a bunch of creative differences. And they were also really upset by the fact that, you know, they would be paying for me to be in the studio, and then I'd be releasing shit for free, like fantasy mixtape. And
so you were being difficult.
I was being creative. I was being creative because it was like, regardless of whether you know, thought fantasy mixtape was professional enough or whatever, people were downloading it and people were coming to see. I was headlining Glastonbury.
But they weren't making money off of it, so for them.
But you could have made money off of it if you would have just listened to me and just cleared the damn samples and put it on fucking iTunes. You get what I mean?
Yes.
So then once I got off the label, I found this program, this thing online called TuneCore, where basically you pay them $75 and they put your shit through the channels. Because at that point, it was just like, I just need my stuff to get through official channels. I don't care if you think it's cool or not. I need it to get through the channels, because this is not...
What do you mean? What channels? When you say the channels?
Like
what
iTunes or anything, really, just like at a bare minimum, just put my shit on fucking iTunes. Like, what is the problem? I don't understand what the issue is, you know, because I'm making my money
and
regardless.
you know you have fans who are going to go out and buy the stuff if it's on iTunes.
Yeah.
Right.
Like, she has a very
and
committed fan base.
And it sounds like that traditional recording label design business model didn't fit your brand. They didn't have the patience for how you were being creative, and they were spending a lot of money, and it just didn't work.
Exactly.
So fast forward to where we are today, right? And the whole Azealia Banks thing, because in that moment where you was popping on 212, there was other female MCs who was coming on at that time, right? So then we start hearing from Iggy Azalea. Rosenberg, you said to me today, and I was like, I don't even understand how things got sideways. Didn't Iggy Azalea and her start at the same time? What happened? And you told me.
I said that there are people out there who believe that the source of this issue is that Iggy came later and straight up jacked the name from Azealia Banks. Because, I mean, the name Azealia Banks was already out and a thing when anyone first heard of Iggy Azalea. So there are those that believe that Iggy simply saw the name Azealia Banks and was like, I like that name. And
straight ran with it.
And that could be the source of original tension.
What's your perspective on it?
Okay, so here's the thing with Iggy Azalea. This is the thing. I feel just like in this country, whenever it comes to our things like black issues or black politics or black music or whatever, there's always this like undercurrent of kind of like a fuck you. There's always like a fuck y'all niggas, like y'all don't really own shit, like y'all don't have shit. You get what I'm saying?
Yes.
And that Macklemore album wasn't better than the Drake record.
And Macklemore admitted his album wasn't better than Kendrick.
You know what I mean? That Iggy Azalea shit is not better than any fucking black girl that's rapping today, you know? And when they give those awards out, because the Grammys are supposed to be like accolades for artistic excellence, you get what I mean? Iggy Azalea is not excellent, you know? And the message I see when I see these Grammys being given out, like these, because it's bigger than just like playing the shit on the radio and I don't give a fuck, you know what I mean? Like, that's fine, bitch. Like, do what you're gonna do. But I have a problem when you're trying to like say that it's hip hop and you're trying to like put it like up against black culture. Like, even like, you know, like Nicki Minaj over the past 2, 3, 4 years has done so much to kind of create this like social presence and this like hold on just like, you know, like social consciousness. And then here you go, like, okay, so she's like re-up and Roman Reloaded, and then here you got fucking Iggy like reclassified. Like, you're trying to smudge out, you know what I mean? It's like you're trying to like, it's like a cultural smudging was what I see. And when they give these Grammys out, all it says to white kids is like, oh yeah, you're great, you're amazing, you can do whatever you put your mind to. And it says to black kids, you don't have shit, you don't own shit, not even the shit you created for yourself. And it makes me upset in that way.
And you know what, I think there is some conscious people who do that. Like, I believe what you're saying, but I also believe a majority of people aren't conscious. We just finished having a conversation about it, where people purchase and put their money next to things that they see themselves in, right? It's been going on for a long time.
Yeah.
Right? And it's really a marketing thing. It's psychology, right? Where 64% of the United States is white, right?
And that's fine. Well, look.
Well, and I'm just saying theys purchase things that they see themselves in, right? And businesses capitalize on that.
And that's fine. So put her in the pop category. Put her with Katy Perry and Lady. Put her and Miley Cyrus in the same fucking box together.
Don't put her in hip hop.
Don't put her in hip hop.
But she's rapping over a beat though.
But just because she's not singing does not mean it's rap music. You understand what I'm saying?
All right.
You know, there is something here that she's making me think about a lot, right? That makes me feel somewhat guilty, okay? Because I attacked Nicki's pop record, right? And that was like a big thing. I didn't attack Iggy's fancy record because at the time I was like, well, I don't know who Iggy Azalea is, so it doesn't matter what she's making. That was the main part of why I didn't have anything to say.
Because you didn't feel like she had an allegiance to the culture from the rip.
No.
So
The only reason I cared about Nicki is because she's Nicki. Iggy was nobody at the time. She's just a person who put out a song. I didn't know the level of cultural appropriation we were watching at the time. And by the way, I don't blame Iggy for that personally. But in terms of her then being embraced and Fancy becoming the quintessential rap song
record.
That sucks.
But this
You
ain't
got
the
two
first.
white
But this
women
ain't the
singing
first
a rap-
time. But this ain't the first time. And so, what I say to this, and what I always look at it is don't y'all know the drill? All right.
All right, look.
And you and like I
me just say
understand.
this.
Well, let me finish. I understand
Okay.
what you're saying, right? We've seen hip hop go pop several times.
Can I interject?
Go ahead.
Okay. Now everybody knows that like the basis of modern capitalism is like slave labor, like really just like the selling and trading of these slaves. Like they're fucking like huge corporations that are still like, you know,
Yes.
caking off that slave
Yes.
money and shit like that.
The entire country.
Right. So until y'all motherfuckers are ready to talk about what y'all owe me, whether the number 7 trillion or 8 trillion or 9 trillion, at the very fucking least, y'all owe me the right to my fucking identity and to not exploit that shit. You get what I'm saying? Like, that's all we're like holding on to, like hip hop and rap and like Bill Cosby or whatever the fuck it is. Like, that shit is fucking like too timely. That's too timely that like you have like Eric Garner and Mike Brown and like
And then they
Trayvon
throw
Martin,
Bill
and then y'all
Cosby's
fucking
old
talking about
stories.
Bill Cosby. Like, what the fuck? What does that have to do with any? Y'all putting that shit on like TV for the kids to see, like for the youth to fucking see. You know, when it's happening like back to back to back to back to back, and I get it. You know, it's like, all right, whatever. Like, you know, we're gonna march, we're gonna do this, but like, no, we really have to talk about this.
So let me take you somewhere because I see you being real emotional. So let's go a little bit farther. Right, you're 23 years old. Right, I remember being your age and being equally as frustrated. I'm 40 years old. Right, and I decided right a long time ago. What's the game that's really being played? Right? Do they really give a fuck about how anybody feels?
No.
And let me take you a step further. There's so many people who don't feel at all. And the amount of people who don't feel anything, right, about art, about culture, about music, far outweighs the people who do feel. So you have someone like yourself who feels, right? And so part of the reason you get in trouble is because you feel. And you jump out in front of everyone with your feelings. And that majority of people is like, why does this bitch give a fuck so much? They disregard your feelings. And the people who understand what you're feeling either go, another one caught up, huh? Damn. Right? And they go on and they make their money. They go on and they take care of their families, and they ride off into the sunset with whatever their bank account. And people like yourself who are amazingly talented, give a fuck about culture, give a fuck about your people, right? End up being called crazy.
I gotta be the bitter black bitch because I like have something to say about it.
Because you have feelings.
And then here you got fucking coon head ass T.I. Like, T.I, you out here trying to fucking promote this white bitch. Like, they got your wife on VH1. Whitey got your wife on VH1 and that bitch can't fucking read. You understand? You got your priorities fucked up.
That's really how you feel about
That's
T.I.
really how I fucking feel about you. You a fucking shoe shining coon. How dare you?
And so you take that personally.
I take that personally. I take that you a fucking coon. Your wife can't read. And they got her on fucking TV. They making fun. They got the fucking sound effects on it, like boing. She reading the thing with her finger. And it's like boing, boing, like.
So let me take you a step further. All of these shows that you're talking about, right? Like I had it with my lady just the other day, Sorority Sisters, Bye Felicia, Love and Hip Hop New York.
I
all
never
of these
seen
programs.
Bye Felicia. What's that? I
Some
seen
new
it. I
show.
seen it on the guide, but I never watched it.
But do you watch this television? You don't watch any of these
Here
things?
and there, like if I'm in the hair salon, like I'll talk about it. Like that stuff is like. That's like trivial shit, you know, and it's okay to enjoy that stuff.
But see,
You
it's
get
a
what I mean?
slippery slope because in one regard you're saying it's okay, in another regard you're saying it's coon shit.
No, I
And-
said T.I was a coon.
right, but the way.
And I said that the fact that your wife can't read makes you even more of a coon, and the fact that
But that's the woman that he loves, though.
okay, but the fact that you're focused on what the fuck I have to say about this bitch saying that she's a runaway slave master, you know what I mean? And that's really what you're attacking me for? That's really, like, think about it. You have no other reason to come at me. Aside from the fact that I said something about her calling herself a runaway slave master, and the bitch so comfortably did a whip motion in the video, she was like, runaway slave master. Oh shit. And y'all will sweep that shit right under the fucking rug. But
We'll
whenever
talk
I
to her
have to
about it.
say,
We got at her about it.
but I'm saying in general, whenever I have to say anything about anything, then it's like, oh, here go this crazy black bitch. Here this da 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 da. Like T.I. Really?
So that's what hurt you the most.
Yes.
Well, for you, it's the combination of both. It's the fact that he's focused on that, and while that thing's happening, you don't understand how those two things, the VH1 show,
Yeah.
and that doesn't add up well.
It doesn't add up.
So let me ask you this: Why go to social media with it?
Well, where else am I gonna fucking find T.I.?
What about just putting
I
out the
seen
records?
that nigga
What about the
backstage at the
records?
Kanye West show and stood next to him on purpose. Like, I dare him to say something to me. I dare him to do something. Like, I would love it. Have my sister with me. Like, we would have jumped T.I.
Did he
I know you
say,
would've.
anything to you? Did
Of
he
course
look
he
at you?
didn't. Him and Tiny was just looking at me. I kept inching right next close to him. Like, Kanye was performing. I was like, I dare you. Don't play with me. And then you out here talking about I need to get a man to come see you. Fuck out of here. Fuck out of here.
So how do you solve a situation like this? You've now said very harsh things.
I don't know if she wants to solve it.
Is there?
Because
And I
I
don't
have a
think you-
problem with that. You know what I mean? And I have a problem with you for that. I'll always have a problem with you for that. You know, I'll always think you're like.
And do you feel like T.I. was just protecting his money? Like, because to him, even the same thing with the Snoop thing, right? We had a
But either
conversation
way,
about
mind your
that.
fucking business. It's too like I'm talking to another girl. Mind your fucking business. Shut up. Shut the fuck up. Mind your business. I'm not talking to you.
What exactly did T.I. say to you? Because I remember he
He was like, well, the situation said, cause I am a very distinguished individual and I keeps it real. And she need to get her man before she come talk to me. Cause yeah. Like, get the fuck out of here. Where the fuck did you learn how to read? Freedmen's Bureau? Like, nigga, did you get your GED in jail? Fuck out of here. Fuck out of here. These niggas are crazy.
Yo, her New
bro.
York, fuck outta here.
These niggas are fucking crazy.
Nah, people are crazy. But listen, there's also people who don't, once again, who don't look at it through your lens.
Well, then that's on them.
I think you did tap into something earlier though, and I know Azealia pretty well, and she's a very passionate person. And I do think you're at a point in your life, and this isn't to negate where you're feeling. You may keep going more the direction you're going, but you are discovering a lot of what's fucked up about the world. Like, you've gotten outside of your uptown cocoon. You've seen the world now. You see what's out there. And I totally understand your circumstance because, I mean, let's be honest. There's not a person in the world, and I like Iggy. I have a good relationship with her. Not a person in the world who's going to put Iggy's album next to Azealia Banks' album and compare the two, right? Azealia just dropped a brilliant album.
So let's get into a record.
But I can understand the frustration of how this black woman made this amazing music that's diverse.
But see,
and
what
it's the real
and what I'm
deal,
saying
and they're
to
not
you
talking
is,
about
and what
it.
I'm saying to you is, put it in the music.
No, I don't want to put this shit in my
not
fucking
her,
music.
not her.
The energy.
And not him.
I did put the energy in the music.
The energy's in the music, but let that speak.
It is speaking. Listen, and this is what I always say to people.
But your social media and your
Okay,
profile
but
is
y'all
out in
work
front
at a
of
radio
it.
station. Listen, I'm a creative individual. I have the license to think and say and do whatever the
Yes,
fuck I
absolutely,
feel. You understand?
absolutely.
Y'all work at a radio station. Y'all focus on the music. You work at a fucking music magazine. You focus on the music. That's your job. I'm a creative.
All right.
I can do and say whatever the fuck I feel.
Yeah, and I'm trying to help you.
But like, help me do what?
Help you make people focus on your message in your music and not just 140 characters on fucking Twitter.
Well, then that's their problem. That's your problem. You know what I mean? That's your problem. You're picking and choosing. Listen, I talk about and it's so funny because I talk about so many different things on my Twitter. You know what I mean? Y'all niggas pick and choose what y'all want to see. You know what I mean?
And who's y'all?
General.
Complex, Gossip, Double XL, Source. You know what I mean? All of these like hip hop guys that are so like influential and instrumental in creating the bad picture of Azealia Banks. Y'all are picking and choosing what y'all wanna
they
y'all
want
wanna
clicks,
put in the
and
fucking.
you make
all
it
right,
easy
so
for
then
them.
get your fucking clicks. Here it is. Here it is.
Well, that's for sure.
Listen.
What
stop
record we
trying to
playing
play
right
me.
now? Who's trying to play you?
Everybody.
Everybody's trying to play you.
Yeah. Let me be free.
So much stuff.
Let me listen. Like, listen, it's been
Who's
a long
trying to
time
play you?
since like a black woman can like really sit here and say whatever the fuck she feels like without being shot at or like sprayed by a hose or some shit. Like, please.
I will say this. I don't know the last time someone sat down and spoke this freely.
Sure.
I'm into it.
It's been a minute.
Desperado?
We could play. I was going to play something else. I'm going to play something a little more intense
What you got?
for the mood.
What's
Heavy
this
metal
song?
and
What's this one?
reflective.
What's this one?
Heavy metal and reflective.
Oh yeah, this is tough.
That's where she seems
Yo,
like
I
she's
don't
at.
know the names of any of the records on your album. I just
know the
listen
sound.
to them. I don't look at the credits.
Friggy froze kept, it's that fresh bitch. I be in that prissy stone set with that wet wrist. Flighty bitch, that prissy bow with that necklace. I be very freaky, tickle cherry, it's that best bitch. I be in the 750 head up with that hex switch. I can spit that pussy phone, sex with the breakfast. I could break a nigga bone. When I bet bitch, I be VIP, I been cheddar, you be guestless. I be PYT, you Billy G, you been that ex bitch. Icy with that sickle wool, it's that next shit. I be getting several, you be settled, bet you press bitch.
Tough. Listen, if you do
clean.
not have the Azealia Banks album, Ebro in the morning, Laura Styles, Rosenberg, Azealia Banks here turning up and going ham.
Broke with expensive taste. I'm just curious. Have you ever been in the same room as Iggy Azalea?
Mm-mm.
And if you had the opportunity to have a conversation with her, would you?
No.
So you don't even want to talk to her?
No.
Nothing?
Mm-mm.
Wow.
I'm not interested.
Right.
It's not interesting to me.
Right.
What is interesting to Azealia Banks today?
What's interesting to me? I really like Ray Shremmerd a lot.
Yeah.
I like him so much.
Ray
And-
Shremmerd's-
You
It's
know,
two.
it's
It's
two
two of them.
guys.
Oh, there's two of them?
Yeah.
Yeah,
There's
yeah.
two
It's
kids.
eardrummers backwards.
I only see the videos and I know the one with the
Yeah, it's two kids, and they're like, modern day Criss Cross.
I
Yeah.
like them a lot. I like Dej Loaf
Really?
a lot. Yeah,
That's
I like
dope.
her. She has swag. Who else do I like?
Are you a fan?
I like Big Crit.
Critsto.
Chris
Yeah.
Cadillactica, great album.
I saw the video for it yesterday on Revolt, and I was like, oh shit. Yeah, I like him a lot. You know that kid, Young Father?
I just been
I-
heard
yeah,
about
I
him.
just heard about this kid. Yeah, right, yeah,
That's
yeah,
my
yeah.
shit. There's him and then Manolo Rose.
Brooklyn.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, but I heard some of his unreleased shit and it's like really hot.
Would you collab with any of these artists?
Yeah.
Is it hard to collab with an Azealia Banks? I mean, we had a rough time booking you. Your schedule's packed. You hunting uptown. You
No, I was
Slaughtering pigs.
in the woods
She was out in the woods.
hunting and slaughtering pigs.
Oh God.
But like, how would one, if they wanted to connect with an Azealia Banks? What's the easiest way? Is it as easy as just sending you a track? Is it?
Probably like through management. Yeah, just hitting up management or like.
What if someone you love though just tweeted you and they're like, "Yo, if Dej Loaf or Ray Shremmerd tweeted you, was like, yo, I fuck with your shit. Let's link up."
Yeah.
It could be that simple.
Yeah.
Do people reach out that you don't link up with?
Of course.
And why don't you? Just because you think they're trash, you're not into it?
No, not necessarily. It could be a number of reasons as to why. You know, it could be not necessarily that I think they're trash, but just, you know, maybe I don't see how it would fit musically. Or
talk about your music background to us too. Like I heard you say your mother, you had caretakers, right? What did your mom do? Like what's the whole story on Azealia Banks?
She just worked retail, you know, but she worked like long hours. So she would work from like 8 a.m. to like 8 p.m. You know, and in between then, and somebody would have to pick me up from school. So usually there'd be like a local Dominican babysitter who just rounded up all the kids and took them to her house after school. And that was like where you stayed and, you know. But in terms of my musical background, my mom listens to like a lot of jazz and a lot of like avant-garde jazz stuff. There's a woman called Rachelle Farrell.
I know Rachelle Farrell.
You know Rachelle Farrell?
Of course, stop it.
I love Rachelle Farrell, but Rachelle Farrell and like Whitney Houston and like all that kind of stuff like that. And then when I was about 10, I started doing like city theater.
Okay.
See, I have like all this like weird background, like I've been everywhere. But I started doing like city theater and musical theater and like off-Broadway productions and stuff. Then I went to LaGuardia.
When did the weed start?
Then I went to LaGuardia when I was 16. Oh no, 14.
Here we go.
And when I was 14, I was studying acting there, and that's where like all the stuff started to come to life, just like the experimenting and sleeping with women and smoking weed and, you know, doing all kind of stuff like that.
And rapping?
And rapping happened at LaGuardia.
Were you like one of those, you was in the circle with the guys and the girls, you was rhyming, you wanted your look, like were you that type of MC, or were you just playing around writing with you and your girls?
No,
like,
I
what
was
kind of
just
MC
playing.
were you?
No, I had a boyfriend who rapped. And he would rap, and like we would smoke weed, and his friends would be there, and they would like be in the cypher, and I would just be like, "Yo, this is so cool! Like, oh my god! Like, I have to like write some raps." So like, I guess like a month went by, and I was working on this one verse for like a month, and I would be like writing this little verse, and then like one day I was like, "All right, I'm gonna spit my verse at the cypher, like, let's go!" And my first verse was actually that verse from 17. I'm not the Dawn Diva. I'm beyond your Dawn skeezers. I get cake from quick juxes with long heaters. Like, that was my first shit.
It's a good start.
Thank you. And yeah, then they were like, nah, shorty, you hot. Like, you need to do that. And then my boyfriend named me Miss Banks. And like, he would write some raps for me and I would write them. We would like put them together and stuff like that. But by the time I started putting out my music, he was like, out of the picture, because I had a job at Starbucks and I was like, look, you a broke nigga, I can't fuck with you. Like, I was like,
wait, Starbucks had you on fleek like
had
that?
me on fleek the fuck, yo. When I was like 16, 17, I used to get my weaves, my little like cell phone, my little like bag of weed with my little Starbucks check. Like, I was lit, and I used to pay like
lit out here.
I was lit. I used to pay like for my little studio sessions, and he actually recorded like all my first songs. So we've been friends for a long time.
Who you pointing to over there? What's
Johnny
his name?
Fire, my friend Johnny Fire from Uptown.
All right.
And I used to pay Johnny like $20 an hour, and we used to record in this kid's closet, like we literally just push the clothes, mic in a sock type shit. Like we just used to be recording. And then yeah, I would just put my shit out, and then I would just stalk people on the internet, like with my links. Like I would just be online after school, like yo.
Check me out.
Check me out. And finally, Diplo paid attention. And then that's when it was like.
That's what it started.
Started.
Another thing that started with Diplo.
Yo, Diplo does not get his props.
No,
man.
Diplo's the man. Diplo's the man. And Diplo has really good taste in things, for sure.
You guys still work together? Is he?
No, we're both like too busy.
Really? So no production from Diplo on this album?
No. Who
Who are these producers that you're using? Who are these people?
Because the sounds are crazy on the album.
Talk about that.
I'm a real music nerd, and I be on the blogs, and I feel like that's why I feel like so mad about like writers and stuff like that, is because I read so much of these blogs all the time, like Pitchfork and like just all the blogs that have all the stuff. There's a blog that I really like a lot called Disco Bell that has all like, so you know how there's the internet and then there's cyberspace. Like cyberspace is where all these people like really like exist, like on Beatports and like all that weird like BitTorrent, all that shit. And I just be on there like really just like fiending, like scraping through stuff, like clicking links, clicking links. And a lot of the stuff I find that way, or I find it on iTunes, you know what I mean? Like I'll go and I'll look up an artist and then I'll be like, it'll be like listeners also bought.
Right.
And then I'll find it. And then I'll find the guy on Twitter. And then I'll hit him up like, hey, like, yo, I got your beat. I'm writing some song, like some little song to it. Is that okay? See, now I have to ask permission because at first I was getting in a lot of trouble for just like hopping on nigga shit.
You know what I love about you? That the fashion world really embraces you. And you've had people like Karl Lagerfeld, like, have you perform at their birthday parties. And I read somewhere that when you first were flown out, that you didn't even care. You were like, whatever. I'm just here to perform my song and do my thing.
Right.
And it's so huge.
I had no idea who Karl Lagerfeld was.
I still don't.
Me too.
Have no idea.
Creative director for Chanel.
Oh,
and
awesome.
so much. It's been so much.
Never bought Chanel.
But it's huge, though. I'm saying.
It's a thing.
It's a thing.
It's a thing.
I know a girl named Chanel.
And the fashion world loves her. Like, they love her.
Wait, the fashion world loves our Chanel or a different Chanel? 'Cause I know
No,
Chanel
no.
you're talking about.
You know Chanel I'm talking about.
No, I'm talking about
PR Chanel.
Azealia Banks.
My girl. Oh, Azealia. So yeah, did you ever think that world would embrace you also? That you become like a fashion-y person as well?
No, because I never thought about it. Like when you're from okay, so when you're from like an artsy family like mine, or like my mom is like always like being like that. When you're from a family like mine, you don't. I don't know. My mother would like take $1,000 and buy a new couch before she would like take $1,000 and buy like
a purse
or some shit.
right,
you know.
right.
So my value was always like put in different things. Like I would rather buy like a gold necklace than like, you know what I mean. So once I got like a name or whatever, and like fashion was a thing, I was like, I didn't know like these companies are making this much fucking money selling. Like I didn't know this shit was this big, you know. But yeah.
But you definitely have like a distinctive style.
Yeah, but that's just like New York City, like art school girl style, like Urban Outfitters and like thrift shop boots and shit.
So a minute ago, I want to get into another record, but when we come out of this record, what are we playing next, man? Play something.
Desperado, you want to hear that one?
Yeah,
I like that.
I'm stuck on and you know I'm like this. The emotion that you have tied to how America treats black art. And you teared up a minute ago. And that's not something that a lot of people have at your age, right? And or at least I don't see it. Maybe I'm too far removed. And I want to know more about where that pain comes from. And, you know, because obviously I think it came from some people that you love very much that you saw get hurt in some ways, or that you got hurt in some ways. And I want to talk more about that. That's good.
Yeah, I might cry again, but
but I still want to know, right? I still like, cause listen, we like 212. We jumped out on 212 early when you first put it out because you're a Harlem girl and it was dope and it was up tempo and it was brave, right? And I was like, yo, we got to play this. We got to support this. Went on to get your record deal, and I just saw you struggle a lot, right? I saw you struggle with dealing with the industry, the record industry, dealing with people, just dealing with people not understanding you, where you're from, right? And you know, having this album come out, I bought the album as soon as it came out because I'm a fan of what you do, right? I didn't get on the radio and brag about the Azealia Banks album. I didn't even do all that, right? I just wanted to listen to it. It was something that I enjoy. But I brought you up here because I don't feel like people have given you a chance, right?
Yeah.
I mean, you've gotten some chances and you've bugged out on some people and cursed them out.
And done a lot of big things as well.
And done
Like
a lot of big
who?
things. I'm somebody. You probably cursed somebody out along the
Who?
way. Somebody. I know
but
you
it
have.
always comes as like, oh goddamn, like I can't kiss nobody's ass.
No, listen, that's you.
You
be
know,
you.
like-
Be you. But I wanted people to hear the music, and that's why you're here now. But I think it would be a gift if you were to talk about that emotion that you have. And what
Right
it's
now?
time. Not right now. We're gonna play a song and we'll come
Okay.
back. Cool. What you got, son? What you got?
Desperado.
Okay, but my girl.
Oh, the one where you want it.
It's your favorite one,
I
right?
do like this. One of my faves. I also like BBD though. BBD is tough too. Azealia Banks, Ebro in the morning, Hot 97.
Desperado.
Ups and ups, seductive pup. Flux to the dip back up, then strut. Ups, whip, what's up with that buck? Can I get that rumpin'? Mutts and tucks, deluxe and such. I be in the mirror looking lux and blush. Lux and such, seductive strut. I be aqua physio, that passion punch. With the fashion munch, with the fabric slush. You don't get the access, none. Spun him on my axis, son. Hit him with the hazard, hun. Denim in the satin rump. Blended with the carrot blush. Plus, I got the cash in the base.
Ebro in the morning, Hot 97, Azealia Banks here with Laura Styles Rosenberg.
Yeah.
Got pretty deep with you, kid. I didn't expect it. I didn't
You
expect
didn't?
it. I mean, I expected some angst. I expected some emotion, right? But I didn't know where it was rooted, right? And that's kind of what I want to discover right now, right? You spoke about black art in American culture and the fact that it's not valued, even though the contribution of it basically built much of the music that we love in America today.
Yeah.
Right? You started crying a minute ago when you were talking about that, and what Iggy Azalea represented in the fact that she's, and others, right? Because of their skin color, have been able to appropriate black music that was created by black people and have tremendous amounts of success. Mm-hmm. Why does that make you tear up? Why?
It's not that. You know what I mean? It's not that per se, because I'm my own individual with a strong enough mind to know that ain't it. You know, like I know what
when
real
you say
hip-hop
that ain't
is.
it, that's not the dope shit.
That ain't the good shit. You know what I mean?
Okay.
So that's not what bothers me. What bothers me is really just like when you have the media, it's like really evil. Like I told you, that same undercurrent of just like fuck you, and the sensationalization that comes around it. Like there was one time in the summer, like I picked up a copy of the New York Post, and like the cover was like hip hop is white or some shit, and it was like
I
a
remember
big,
that.
you know what I mean?
And that was everywhere. People, that
But
story
it was,
for like
but
a week.
they do that on purpose.
But I think that was Forbes. Yeah, they was trolling. It was
no,
going hard.
it wasn't Forbes. It was the Post.
No, I think the Post picked up the Forbes story.
Got it.
Oh, okay.
But it was just, they both put it.
But I remember, and maybe because I've seen this movie so many times, I just don't.
That you're desensitized to it.
Right,
and that's the
I
problem.
go, right, and I go, nah, fuck them. They don't know what time it is. They're just trying to sell magazines, get clicks on websites, and
they're trying to
upset.
erase us. They're trying to erase us. Like all of our like books and scriptures and everything that we like are supposed to know about ourselves are gone. Like completely fucking gone. Like never to be seen again, you know? And I feel like,
And when you talk about that, be specific.
just like okay, the fact that like metallurgy was like started in Africa, or like agriculture, or like all those things that like created the world are ours, you know? And it's really upsetting when you like, especially like from young, and you read like your social studies textbook and all you see is just like stories of like you like under like some white person's foot, or it's like you and a white person and you like failing in the face of a white person. It's like, y'all niggas are fucking everywhere. Like, I don't want to share this with y'all. I'm sorry, I don't.
I understand, it's fine.
She's expressed that to me before. We were driving somewhere, and you were telling me about that, about like how so many of the great discoveries and inventions of humankind that were invented in Africa have been recreated to have been invented by other people.
Yes. I mean, there's a movie right now. What is it? Exodus, about the Moses and the Pharaoh, and both of them are Europeans, and people are very upset. And I forget the director who made the film. He also made
someone big. It's someone made
Passion of the Christ or whatever. And he basically was like, look, if I put Muhammad so-and-so in this film, I'm not getting the budget the same way I'm going to get the budget if I put some big name actors in it. Which is basically like, yo, fuck you and the truth. We're trying to sell tickets.
Exactly. Or even the fact that they still making movies like 12 Years a Slave and shit like that. Like we don't need to, I don't want to see no more fucking stories about no more fucking slaves. I don't want to see no more fucking white people whipping nobody in no fucking movies. I don't want to see this shit no more. Because my black story is deeper than like the boat ride over. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. And it's like, it's very upsetting. So this little thing called hip hop that I've created for myself that I'm holding on to with my dear fucking life is like, I just feel like it's like being like snatched away from me or something.
Mm-hmm. But it's not.
It's not, but it's just like they do that just to fuck with you. You get what I'm saying? It's like, why y'all trying to fuck with me? Why y'all trying to fuck with me? Why y'all trying to fuck with Nicki Minaj? Why she gotta be reclassified? Why y'all trying to fuck with the black girls like that? Stop playing like this.
Have you listened to Nicki's album?
I haven't. It just came out. I'm gonna get it though.
But you support. Do you guys have a relationship?
Mm-mm.
Is that just because you haven't reached out? She hasn't reached out. Is there any?
Yeah, but also I feel like when I first came out, there was a lot of like.
Sorry, I'm getting your It had to happen.
There was a lot of like, oh, you're gonna be the new Nicki Minaj, and the thing that I would always say is like, Nicki Minaj isn't even the new Nicki Minaj. Like, she just got here. Like, stop trying to, you know what I mean? Stop trying to do
y'all
that.
Against each other.
Exactly. And this was before I had any sense, and like they would just like ask me like, oh well, what do you think about this? And I'd be like, Because it was confusing to me. I'd be like, well, I don't understand why she wants to like make that pop music when she's like such a dope like rapper already. And then it would like turn into like all this other shit, you know what I mean? And then it would be like, oh,
and then here
Azealia
comes
Banks.
Rosenberg shitting on Starships. Shit got crazy. But now, you know, she's out, you know, went through some time.
But now I have to say it is pretty dope because now she's kicking ass and making like.
But fuck it, she's doing exactly what y'all white bitches are doing here. I'm gonna put this fucking pink wig on and I'm gonna act stupid and I'm gonna show y'all bitches how fucking stupid y'all look and I'm give me my check, good night.
But then she has some real joints there too.
And then she got some exactly.
Yo, she spits. This album is very good.
She could play the money game too.
Right. And I think that's what it is too. What I'm telling you earlier, because you know.
But it's just upsetting given like the like deepness of like.
We need you. Your passion.
The blackness. The blackness that's gone. You know.
Your passion is needed. And for people who may not have access to you that feel exactly the same way, there's plenty of us that do. Right. But what ends up happening is if you're not smart and you don't navigate your ship right and you don't take ownership of your shit right and you don't plan generations ahead, you know, a lot of people get mad at Hove, right? And you know, I don't talk about it a lot, but you know, when I do, people are like, yo, you sucking his dick, yo, fam, he's planned generations ahead. Generations of wealth have been planned out from hip hop. You understand? And so when I get like, yo, but that's, you know, I put posts, yo, I'm so proud of you, him standing with a governor, him, you know, people was like, yo, it's not a big deal that the Duck and Duchess, the Duchess and Duke of, you know, what the fuck, Prince William and whoever the fuck walked over.
The Duck and Duchess.
Whatever the fuck they walked over to him at the Barclays Center and wanted to meet him and his wife. To me, that was huge. That was a big deal, right? Because that's recognizing, oh, we understand that you're not just rich, but you're wealthy and you're powerful.
Oh, listen, I don't need no validation by no white people. Y'all do not need to come over here and shake my hand. Thank you very much. Excuse me.
Both sides.
I'm Jay-Z. I'm that poppin' black nigga, and y'all gonna fucking bow down, and that's it.
But the point being is talking about generations of wealth, right?
I'm such an asshole.
You're just so New York. It's just like, for me, what I'm constantly amused by her is the serious, deep thoughts. Mm-hmm. The super bougie style. The people who love her are so bougie. By the way, just so everyone understands, you're going to hear her saying all these things about white validation, and she means it. However, you're going to go on Instagram, and you're going to see her with like the bougiest, gayest looking white people of all time who support her and love her and she has relationships with. But the dichotomy of all that mixed with Washington Heights' filthy potty mouth animal. I mean, her mouth is...
I know.
Insane.
Because my mother's a jive turkey. Like, my mother's a jive turkey. My mother's very like, get your cracker hands off me, sucker! Like, my mother be like, my mother is straight out of Hollywood Shuffle. Like, she is just like, my mother is crazy. Yo. Like, she's that person that's always like, yeah, because, you know, white man, so yeah. Like, she's the one, because, you know, she grew up like, and she was born in 1959. She saw like Kennedy. She saw Dr. King. She saw all of that stuff. She's, you know what I mean? She was living in New York City when Malcolm X got shot here. You know what I mean?
She was uptown. Wow, and he was out uptown.
Yeah. Like my mother's from like the time where it was like, and then she's also from like New York City, like disco, like cocaine, heroin, like all that shit. So my mother's a jive turkey. Like, she's a jive turkey.
She just says she's just I'm excited.
But I love it. Like, my mother's so funny and just bizarre and just like I love it. Like, my mother doesn't take any shit. Like, you're not gonna get past her for a second. She'll catch you like, and it'll be done.
I don't know if you noticed this, but you share some qualities with your mother.
I know.
You're pretty interesting.
You're not quite a jive turkey, though.
No,
I can.
Not in
I
the
can
traditional
be.
sense. What is a jive turkey? Really?
You never seen Hollywood Shuffle?
No, I know what it
has.
is, but I'm saying like no one uses that as a regular noun to call someone.
Well, but it works perfect for her mother.
Yes,
it's a time.
You know, you got
reference
some
for a time
jive turkey uncles.
Absolutely.
Oh,
absolutely, right?
Absolutely.
Like your
They
uncle who
just
got
be
shot at by your
jiving.
great aunt.
No, that was my father who got shot at by my great aunt. But my father wasn't a jive turkey.
That's
at
some
all.
Harlem
He hated
Night
that
shit.
And he was on the other side. What was
He
Shot me
hated
in my toe.
My father hated that coon, funny
now I got the
clothes,
culture.
afro. He hated all that shit. He thought that was coon shit.
But I picture your dad. I picture your dad also having a '70s blaxploitation vibe at some point.
Nah,
Yeah, I don't know why I did
But
too.
Right?
my dad was all black leather and jeans.
Okay, it was a different style.
He
Same
wasn't.
era.
He wasn't wearing floofy furry things and
Goldfish
platform
bottoms.
shoes and shit or long, all that long fingernail. He thought that shit was for homosexuals, actually, straight up. And
My dad used to be like a sharecropper when he was little. So my dad was like a pimp when he grew up. Like he used to like run number spots and do all like stuff like that, like laundromats, beauty supply shops. So he was like the hood pimp, but he was fresh. Like he wasn't like a pimp. He was fresh. He was like a businessman.
Not an unclassy pimp. Now, Ebro, I would love to see people. I really think this is the beginning for Azealia Banks. I think this is
a reset, if you will.
I think it's an interesting story because I think it started out that she was this thing and it was going and blah, blah, blah. Then shit got all fucked up. And then no matter what, there's an Iggy Azalea part of the story that makes it weird because her popping off so big when you guys have the same name-ish situation. I see that as a weird thing that happened.
That's cultural smudging.
That's cultural smudging. I do agree. And then I think the real Azealia Banks story hasn't happened yet. I think we're on the verge of it because I think this album, when I went and looked around, because I was talking to my friend Fam, who's Childish Gambino's manager.
What's up, Fam?
And Fam was like, yo.
I love Childish Gambino.
And I know. And Fam was like, yo, this is Azealia Banks album. And I'm like, I know. So I then started reading around, and everyone who's talking about your album, the people who do know, are saying, this is the fucking album. Like, this is a pushing the envelope of music and pushing things forward album. Like, a lot of people want to experiment with pop and house and EDM and all the different genres
Singing,
that are there.
Rapping, the whole thing.
But she actually has the chops on both levels to do it. So I think you have an exciting opportunity in front of you. And I think the things Ebro has been subtly trying to tell you is, don't let your emotions get so deeply involved that you could have more effect when people hear the music first, and then you're able to use that voice.
That they're not as deeply involved. Y'all just spent the whole 45 minutes asking me deep questions.
That's
if
true.
y'all like, see, this is what I'm saying.
Yeah,
like,
but you're a very interesting person.
Y'all
Yeah.
just
Your
spent the last
story.
like 45 minutes asking me all these deep ass questions. That's how it happens in an interview. Like, that's why I said, like, you work at a radio station, focus on the music. Help me out.
We are helping you out. That's
You
why
know what I
you're here.
mean?
That's why you're here.
I know. No, listen. Once you are very interesting, so when people ask you questions, you can answer. You don't always have to jump off of the fucking mountain.
No. Here's the thing.
Head first.
Here's the thing. If you
Why
don't,
not?
if you don't want the depth to be a part of your story, and you want people to focus on the music, the point I was trying to make to you earlier is, don't give them it on social media. Give them it in the music.
Not in the music. I'll give it to them in speeches and essays.
How about that?
But
That's
not in the
great.
music.
That's fine too.
And in this fable that I've been writing.
I'm excited about the Fable. You've been
I
talking
know
about
the Fable.
for a long
Oh my!
time.
I've been working on the Fable for a really long time. So it's actually like I'm actually like a real author. Like I really been writing a fucking book.
Do you have a publisher in the whole thing?
No, not yet. It's published by Apple Pages right now.
Yo, Azalea, it was a good talk, man.
Thank you.